Okay, you guys, good morning. So I am going to wear a dress today. I've been living in leggings like for months. And maybe I put on like jeans like 2 or 3 times, but today I want to wear a dress. So I'm gonna wear this. I have to shower, but I'm gonna wear this dress. It's from Walmart and it's so cute. And I just want something flowy, easy and fast to put on that I don't have to think much about. So I'm gonna wear this one. As you guys saw this morning, I did my bar blend workout. I'm on week 4, day 1, and I am freaking loving it. It looks easy. You might think it looks easy, but it's freaking hard. I was dripping in sweat. But anyways, I'm gonna get my morning started now. Well, I started it with the exercise, but I'm gonna get it started with some drinks. So as you guys know, I have been taking the Teamy Greens and I make a latte out of this. I'm not going to show you guys how I make the latte because I've already made a video in which I share how I make it, which I'll link it up here for you guys. But it's already been close to a month already that I've been taking this and I love it. And I actually ended up buying another one, and so did my mom because we loved it so much. And actually I made my brother a greens latte just the way I do it, and he's vegan, so he first wanted to make sure it was vegan. So it's vegan, it's 100% plant-based like I've said in the past. So I made it for him and he loved it. He loves the matcha green tea latte at Starbucks and he thought it tasted just like it. Of course, you know, I think he adds vanilla or sweetener, classic syrup or something, I don't know. But if you add that, like if you buy your own Starbucks syrup, it'll taste just like it. He was very surprised. So surprised that he ended up buying it. I was like, dude, you're saving so much money buying a container than going to Starbucks. Like, I don't know how often he goes. It's so good, you guys. Like I said in the past, it gives me so much energy, and I replaced my morning coffee because I don't need it, because this gives you so much energy without the crash, which is the most important thing. So I do have a 25% discount code, which is Wendy RN25. The link is in the description box below if you guys are interested in trying it out. And don't forget, you guys, that not only do they sell wellness products such as the greens powder, they also sell a bunch of different teas, and they also sell skincare products, which I really want to try. The detox mask, it has a matcha in it. And then also the other thing I want to try is the repair oil, because I was reading the reviews and it says that it helps a lot with the redness, and I have rosacea, so that's why I have so much texture and redness on my cheeks. But I wanted to give that a try. Maybe I will. But anyways, I gotta make my latte and the tea, and like I said, I have to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, so I need to hurry. And most importantly, if you guys are interested in finding out that huge nursing life update, stay tuned for this Thursday, the 18th. Yeah, this Thursday, the 18th, to find out what's been going on. But anyways, and now that I have this free time, I want to study. So I'm going to study. I'm on the farm chapter, so I'm reviewing pharmacology. So I'm actually reading about pharmacology terms, and then I came across the trough, which reminded me of vancomycin. If you guys are like familiar with antibiotics, vancomycin is an antibiotic, and we give that a lot in the hospital. It's usually IV. You can also give it PO, but if they're in the hospital, it's because they most likely need IV vancomycin. So most of the time when they're on that medication, the lab has to draw peak and troughs. So just to kind of tie this all up together, the trough is the minimum concentration. So the lowest concentration of a drug after a dose is the trough. The peak is when it's the highest. So just a little tip there. If you guys aren't really familiar with those terms, that is what it means. it's giving you a lot of information. So for the proton pump inhibitors, it does increase the risk of fractures in postmenopausal women. So that's something that we really need to be aware of. And also the omeprazole, it can interact with Coumadin and many other drugs, but especially with Coumadin, we want to be very careful because it's a blood thinner. So there is an interaction there. And then vitamin K, which is an antagonist to warfarin, and that does interact with any G herbs, which I didn't even know about the G herbs. I know that it did interact with ginkgo or ginseng. But also with garlic and ginger, and even other herbs and supplements. And of course, you're supposed to discontinue it 7 days before surgery. If your patient has a history of heart failure, once again, they should not be taking Actos because they can start gaining weight. They can also get dyspnea, cough. So keep that in mind. If your patient is diabetic and has heart failure, do not put them on Actos or any of the TZDs. I forgot what the whole name for that was, but yeah, be very, very careful. Of course, there's many other important things, but I think those are like very important to know. And also, even though you're not an NP student, as a nurse, you should be aware of these side effects so that you can catch it. So you're still responsible. If a doctor orders something and you give the medication but you didn't look into it, so every time he would order something, I would always find out what that medication was for and kind of look at the side effects and the contraindications before I gave it to the patient. If the doctor orders something and it's something that the patient was not supposed to take and you as a nurse did not catch that, it falls on you too, because you are the one giving the medication. So it's important that if you guys see that the doctor like orders something wrong, or maybe not that they ordered it wrong, but it's something that you're questioning and you're not really sure, it's important for you to ask. Don't just say, oh, okay, well, it's the doctor's order, I'm just gonna give it. Don't do that, because one day it's gonna bite you in the butt and you just never know. If you ever have questions, you don't even have to be a new grad, you know? You can be experienced and not know something, because we don't all know everything, but it's important that you double check everything that the doctor is ordering, because you're the one that's gonna be giving the medication. So, like I said, if you're not already doing this, or if you're maybe still a nursing student, keep in mind that every time that the medication is changed and the provider decides to make any changes to the medications, make sure that you know what the medication is used for, what the side effects are, what the contraindications are, because you want to be safe, you want to keep that patient safe, and you want to protect your license. You just need to be really careful. And I'm not saying that, you know, nobody's ever gonna make a mistake, because we will, but we just don't want to make a mistake that's gonna really harm a patient or anybody else. So be very careful and make sure you're looking up the medications whenever there's a change, or if you don't know, you can't find it, you go ask somebody. Don't just say, oh, the doctor ordered it, I'm just gonna rely on that and that's it. Because when something happens, they're gonna be like, well, why didn't you look it up? And also, if you guys have a question, you know, don't be afraid to ask the provider. I know sometimes they might get a little upset if you ask them something and they're not in a good mood or whatever, but it's honestly better to be safe than sorry. I mean, you don't want to be like, you know, at a court case, God forbid, but you're at a court case and they ask you, why didn't you ask the doctor? And you're like, well, because I was scared. Like, you don't want to say that. But I think it's important that if there is something that you don't see is right in any of the orders, not just medication orders, clarify with the doctor first. And, you know, if they get mad, they get mad or whatever. I mean, you have to protect yourself and the patient. But it also depends on how you say it, because I remember when I used to work at the bedside or in other places, like sometimes nurses would be like, oh, that doctor's so mean, and I'm like, he's always been really nice to me, like I don't understand. So sometimes it honestly depends how it is that you approach the doctor with the question. You know, unfortunately not everybody is very professional, and you have to be very careful as to how it is that you're trying to deliver the message to the doctor without telling them what to do, because you know, you really can't. I mean, you could tell them what to do, but subtly, if that makes any sense. But ultimately it's their decision, and it just honestly depends how you approach the provider and how it is that you're asking your questions. Don't be ever afraid to ask a question or clarify anything with the doctor, you guys, because it's better to be safe than sorry.